Evening, fellow commanders. Right, today we just have simple, straightforward combat, fighting, pausing before I say words, blah. That's it. That's all we're doing. We're running an Eagle because, let me explain why we're using an Eagle actually. It's really just because I wanted to use, or rather get used to, the lower tier ships because I think at the moment there's a real propensity, there you go, it's a good word, there's a real propensity to trade money, get a Cobra, then get a Lakon Type 6, get a Lakon Type 9, then get an Anaconda, then yada yada you. And that's kind of what I'm getting a bit worried about, is because I think the most deadly ships in this game are the Eagle, are the Viper, and maybe the Cobra. The Cobra is a little bit expensive, but I think the Eagle is a phenomenally powerful ship. Look at this, I'm using 3 burst lasers, admittedly gimbalized, so there's quite a cost to do that. I think the ship costs 16,000 creditos. Is there a word for the credits in this game? I have no idea. We'll call them Brayburns. So basically they cost 16,000 Brayburns. And the irony being is that lasers cost 24,000 Brayburns in total, because it's 8.7k per one. So when you think about it, that's more on the guns than on the ship. Anyway, so that's the point. That's kind of, oh, hello. That's what a huge amount of narcotics. And I think this is something that I'm really trying to get used to. Plus, I'm also trying to find different ways to make money in this game that don't rely on me trading. I have nothing wrong with trading. Trading's fun. But shooting things is a lot more fun. And you think about it, if you can fit out a ship for, say, 40k maybe, 40 odd k, 40,000 Brayburns, that then gives you the ability to go and do this. And all I do is I sit at the nav beacon and shoot down hostiles. Now, the best thing to do, maybe an Eagle isn't the best way to do this, but you know, generally you're looking for narcotics, battle weapons, slaves, that kind of thing. And really that's kind of the I guess the raison d'etre of it. Now you need to be careful, because if you do this in a system with a security vessel, they scan you, you're in trouble. So if you do grab loot, then just be ready to run away. I'm not doing that here, I'm just getting used to the combat side of it, and as you can see, it's rather fun. I think I killed probably 12, 13 things in a row, pretty much all without too much opposition. I think the hardest thing to kill for me is Eagles, weirdly enough. I think it's because their tactics is slightly different from the other ships. Sidewinders are pretty useless. Cobra Mark 3s have a tactic where they'll try and burn away as fast as they can, then do a 180, then come at you. So all you need to do is just stay close. So all I do is I just burn after them. So at no point am I any more than 2k away from them, which really works out quite well. I think also Vipers are quite tricky, but again, maybe Vipers are probably the toughest thing I've found so far, to be honest with you. Obviously not including Anacondas and Type 9s just because of their size. But there we go. So to be honest, I mean, I've got to admit, I love the combat of this game. I think there is nothing finer than this. This is the dogfight, the battle, the, you know, really just taking on another ship to see who can win. And I don't kill everything, because fighting at the nav beacon does mean some ships will actually escape you, but not this one. Sorry, Mr. Sidewinder. Kablooey. Now, the bounties you get as well are actually toting up quite nicely as well. Now, by using burst lasers, it means that I can sit here forever, pretty much. As long as I don't scoop cargo and I don't get blown up, I can just sit here and farm these people. So that works out quite well. Plus, it's quite enjoyable. I think that's kind of the one thing that I'd recommend people look at, is have a fit that doesn't need any ammo at all. So maybe just run gimbalized beam lasers or something like that on a Cobra, or maybe just 4 beam lasers. That could be good enough. But it's up to you. I think really I would recommend that you have a fit that is requiring no ammo whatsoever, because then you can just literally sit and earn your credits. You don't earn big bucks, but if once you've got, say, 10 things dead, that could be, you know, that could be 3,000 to 7,000 Brayburns in your pocket. So I think definitely it's worth considering. But again, some stuff will just run away, like this dude. He's going to get away. It's pretty evident. Because he's running, he's not deviating, and I think I need to get him to a particular arm level, and there we go, maybe that's got him. Also going to start looking at the ability to target subsystems. I don't know if anyone's tried this. Post in the comments if you have actually knocked out subsystems, because you'll see towards the later few kills, there we go, that guy got away pretty evidently, but towards the later few kills you see that we try and target the drives, or we try and target certain systems within the ship. So post in the comments if you know that that works and it seems to be a viable tactic. So far it's not. I just seem to destroy the ship before I take out a drive, so not sure about that. It's probably because you need to do that on bigger ships. I understand that, don't worry. I think certainly as well, when you look at how kind of powerful this little, you know, kind of smeggy eagle is, I mean, that's pretty impressive, really, isn't it? I mean, I found the Sidewinder was actually quite powerful in the right hands, but having 3 lasers on this very cheap ship does seem to be quite powerful indeed. I think also it's just the ability to know when to strike as well. I think this is the biggest challenge I have, is I just want to sit with my finger on the trigger, you know, killing until everything stops screaming. But the reality is you can't. You have to let the lasers build up a certain amount of charge, then you hit them in a pulse. So, you know, even gimbal eyes miss, and I know that's crazy to admit, but they do. They miss a huge amount. So I think really what I'm doing here is just learning the particulars of taking targets down. The dogfighting nature of it is pretty good as well. I think really, you know, you find that you end up trying to have a good dogfight, trying to keep close to them. Most of the time, if you do afterburner, you'll overshoot, so you need to really carefully control your power. But with this fit, it's pretty difficult because the power system on this ship is so massively underpowered for this fit. Then you know you can't look at the burst lasers. I mean, it's literally just, you know, wasting it. Now some would probably say fit pulse lasers maybe. Certainly you could. Some people would say maybe fit just 2 of them and maybe a multi-cannon, etc. So, you know, there's so many varieties and options here. I am a big fan of gimbal eyes because I'm not the best shot, so I think, you know, I kind of augment my noobiness with the technology of the day, and the technology of the day is pretty much these things. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? Kablam! Oh, it's so satisfying. It's almost sexual, almost. But I think there's something very, very enjoyable. Look at this hauler. Look at the hauler just get smashed. So what I'm doing is here, I'm keeping firing, which I shouldn't do because it's actually doing less damage over time. So I really need to learn that, and I think that's why I think he gets away. Or does he not? No, I don't think he does. But either way, you know, not doing that is stupid. But here we go. Look, I'm actually going to try and target his drive. Now I don't know if that's doing anything. Look at the drive function on the left, sorry, 92%. You see, again, I'm killing his armor before I'm killing the drive, so I'm not really too sure what the point of that is. Do you know what I mean? It didn't make much sense. But there we go, killed him. Some of the things that people drop is actually quite prestigious as well. I think definitely you can make quite a nice little sideline if you had a Cobra Mark III just picking up the loot. Just be aware you may have to run from system authority vessels, because obviously they will appear. They don't scan you that often though, so this is why I think it is viable. You can get away with it. Plus, if you so wish, you could just kill them as well. Because if you pick up, say, you know, 34 lots or 36 lots of battle weapons, narcotics and slaves, take it to Freeport, sell and cash in, you know, it just makes perfect sense to do that. I don't know if they're going to open that up a bit more. It would be good to be able to sell them in much easier places to get to. I find that every time I try and dock with anything illegal, obviously you're going to get blown to pieces. But it would be nice if there was some ability to, you know, to dock or go in pirate stations. Why can't there be more kind of anarchic systems and pirate stations, etc.? At the moment, it does feel few and far between. Plus, let me just share something with you that's really annoying. Is the jump range on all the ships is so small now. I mean, you need a Lakon Type 9 to get anywhere, pretty much. The Type 6 has still got, I think, 14 light year distance, but even the Cobra feels relatively limited now in its range. I'm not too sure I like that. Let's hope they push that up a little bit, because before it was, I think, it's definitely come down, hasn't it? Post in the comments if I've got that wrong. I'm pretty convinced that ships could jump a lot further than they can now, because, you know, post in the comments if I've got that wrong. If I have got it wrong, I'm a newbie muck noobson. But there we go. I gotta admit, I do find that Cobras are actually probably one of the more tricky ships to take on. I find, look at that, I mean, his shield is just, oh my god, I mean, was I not doing any damage there? I don't know. I suffered a lot of issues yesterday with system failures. If you haven't watched the video, it was 2 ago. Go and watch, I think 48, I think it was. Go and watch episode 48. I literally poo my pants with how scary that got. Look at that, 900 credits. That's pretty decent, isn't it? That's not bad at all. And considering he dropped stuff as well, it's definitely worth it. So here we go, look at this. This is my first Viper I took on, actually. Vipers, I think, are actually quite good. I'm quite surprised how good they are. And I think this is where I guess I kind of have the issue. If an eagle can do this much damage to a viper, why have a viper? You know, obviously all the benefits of class 4 hardpoints and, you know, all that, I get it. But I think if you're going to go and do piracy, maybe an eagle is your starting point, because, or even bounty hunting, because the reality is it doesn't matter if I lose this ship. It costs me about, I don't know, maybe about 2,400 credits to replace. 10% insurance, more or less. I mean, that's amazing, really, when you think about it, isn't it? That's actually nothing at all. And there we go. I'm afraid it crashed at the end. I had this all day yesterday. Post in the comments if you're having similar problems, but it was slightly annoying. But there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you next time.